leader and also from Hope Tri-City. So welcome.
Oh my God. Those are the best coaches in the world right there, man. They coached some 6- and 7-year-old boys last winter. How much did you really like it?
It was really fun.
Oh, was it? See, he's being nice right now. Were there other moments where you just wanted to be like, get out, kid? Yeah. So if you ever want to come coach with us, it's a lot of fun, right? Who's ever had a coach that you're like, man, I can't stand that guy or girl? Wow, you guys are all jerks. Wow, they're there to invest in you. I'm just joking. Well, hey, I'm super excited to be here. How much time do I have? What time we got to be done by?
Oh yeah, 25 usually.
Perfect.
Just take the rest of the school day.
I got it. 2 hours of me talking. I can do it. Ask my wife. All right, cool. Well, hey, I'm here to introduce today our new theme. So who's been a part of FCA for a couple of years now? Raise your hand. More of you than that. Raise your hand high. By the way, cool. Good job on the tamales. I like it. Well, every year we have a theme with FCA that we try to use as like a compass, right? So if you play sports, I'm guessing that your teams, your coaches, have created like a standard or some like core values for your school, like your teams, or even your school. Like right now, your guys' theme for the year is look up, right? So these are all like ways to keep you guys grounded and give you a focus for your school year or your seasons. And so FCA every year comes up with a word or a phrase that does that for us as an organization. And then we break it down quarterly. And so every January they release it. And did anyone know last year's? I saw someone wearing a shirt. You can read 24/7, right? So last year our compass, our standard was we wanted to give Jesus glory 24/7. Give him our time, our energy all day long. And so this year I'm gonna have you guys watch this video, which I already forgot how to play. This is not a touchscreen if you were wondering. I tried earlier. It doesn't work. But I'm just gonna hit it. Oh shoot, see, hit the wrong one.
Yes.
And there's no volume. So just imagine the noise right now, okay? Anyways, it's about 2 minutes long. It's really just a promo to get you guys like hyped up and want to like flip a table over. Hey, I'm Troy, by the way.
I'm Kayla.
Nice to meet you, Kayla. What's your teacher name?
Mrs. Holloway.
Mrs. Holloway.
There you go.
Thank you. It's all good. Got to put your ear up to it. There you go. There it is. Who knows how to read? Can someone read that for me? Good job, man. Let's go. You get an extra piece of pizza today, if there's any left, right? So glory is our theme for 2025. Again, the whole purpose of it, if you have social media or if you check your email, which you probably don't, you can go watch it with better volume and you'll see more about it. But anyways, the whole purpose of the word glory is we want to transform that word into culturally. Everything is all about right now glory for myself. Like I want to stand out. I want to build my brand. I want to fill in the blank. And we want to go from our glory to his glory. So from getting glory to giving glory, in a sense, in everything that we do. And it's based off of a verse I'll talk about here shortly. But before we dive into it, it's actually based off of 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18, but I'll read it in a little bit since I have 2 hours to talk today. This is perfect. I want you guys, with the people around you this morning, to ask yourself this question, okay? And just talk amongst each other. If it's quiet, that means you're not doing it, and it'll be really awkward. So please talk amongst your friends, okay? What drives you to work hard in school? Ready, set, go. You guys got like 1 minute.
I'll get a good whooping if I don't.
You said 11:20? Perfect.
I don't want to bother her again.
Oh, there's a girl talking.
Yeah, it's a video.
Oh. Anyways, ignore her. I don't know who that person is. All right, now talk about this question. What drives you in your sport or your hobby? Ready, set, go. Sorry, Kayla. All right, so tell me, what are some things you said about what drives you to work hard? Someone just yell them out. What would you say? In school, sorry, yeah. What drives you, what, in school, what was it?
You said the same one.
Or what?
Goals.
Goals?
Yeah.
So what drives you to work hard in school? Let's hear it. A couple more.
College.
College. Parents. What was that? Scholarships. Dude, that's free money, right? Well, it ain't free because you put the work in. But, all right, what about when you compete, whether it's in a sport or a hobby? What drives you to work hard in those things that you talked about? Team, college, what else? Championships. Anything else?
Being the best.
Being the best, right? Everything you guys said is right. There's nothing wrong with those things. I want to share a story. I like to share stories about my daughters. If you've been in chapel when I've spoken, I always try to throw my daughters under the bus because it's easy and it's fun. They're not here, so it's awesome. And so one time my daughter, she's in 3rd grade, and she's awesome. Love her to death. Her name is Vail. And she goes to McGee Elementary over by our house in Pasco. But when she was in kindergarten, she was, brand new, obviously first year of full year school. No more preschool, where it's a couple times a week. Shorter days, her first year being in full-time school. 180 days a year. She's around older kids. She's around kids that don't have the same beliefs as her. She's hearing things. She's seeing things that maybe she's never seen before, heard before. There is a lot going through her little brain, right? As she's developing physically, spiritually, emotionally. There's just a lot going on in a little 6, 7-year-old. And one day I was trying to do her hair. I'm not good with hair. Can you tell? Why are you guys laughing? That's really rude, especially you. Like, I thought you were nicer than that. I'm just joking. But no, so I was trying to do her hair. I stink at hair. My wife gives me a hard time about it all the time. I can barely do a ponytail. I even practice on those dolls that like have a head. But then like, you know what I'm talking about, girls? You guys have one of those? Yeah, my kids have them. I just can't do it. The braiding, all that. You really want to impress a woman? Boys, learn how to do hair. They like that, all right? Anyways, so I'm trying to do my daughter's hair, and she all of a sudden says to me, "Dad, am I pretty enough?" And when she said that, it broke my heart. Because she's 6 years old. And she's already staring into this mirror and having these identity moments. And if we were all honest and vulnerable with each other right now, we would all probably agree that in different seasons of our life, we have probably had moments like that ourselves. Not am I pretty enough, but am I good enough? What is my purpose? Who am I? Why am I here? Why doesn't this person like me? Why can't I hang out with this group? Like all these thoughts that are human nature, right? And my daughter started having them at 6 years old. And this isn't just a question for kids, like I said. You need a chair, dude? We can get you a chair. No? All right. This isn't a question for kids. It's something that we all ask, whether it's sports, academics, relationships, or life. We look for answers all in the wrong places. But here's the truth I want you to catch today. Our identity doesn't come from what we achieve or what others say. It comes from the one who made us. This is all very cliche in a sense, but it's so powerful. C.S. Lewis, I'm a reader. I love to read. I love reading old literature. It's one of my favorite things to do. And C.S. Lewis is one of my favorite. Anyone read C.S. Lewis here? Okay, he's written a lot of books, nonfiction, fiction. They're Chronicles of Narnia, one of the more famous ones. If you watch the movie, he's the brains behind those words and that story. Anyways, here's what he said about the word glory, which we'll get into here in a second, and what I'm talking about today. He says this: don't let your happiness depend on something you may lose. Just think about that with me. Don't let your happiness depend on something you lose. Now, if you've been following the news in the last 24 to 48 hours, have you been seeing the fires that are happening in California? The devastation that's happening to families right now, communities. It looks like a movie right now there. Like a really scary, sad movie. I can't even count how many homes have been lost. Possessions have been lost. Lives have been lost. I don't know the count. Do you know the count? Has that been announced any of that?
1,100 structures, at least.
Structures, right? But has there been any lives? You know, two?
There's only 5.
5. Okay, yeah. But I bring that up not to like distract us from what we're talking about today, but because it goes right with what we're talking about today. Like, don't put your happiness in something you can lose. All this, we can lose all of what we see and touch right now in a heartbeat. People are experiencing that firsthand. Beautiful homes, a home that I'll never be able to afford, gone. Just like that, right? But as we think about what we're chasing, and that's what I want to talk about today, is what are you chasing? Are you chasing glory for yourself, or are you chasing a glory to shine into this world? But so as we think about what we're chasing, let's explore this truth about who we are and why we were created. So I'm going to talk a little bit about sports, because that's FCA is all about sports. If you don't play sport, that's okay. But sports is all about achieving some kind of outcome, right? As an individual or a team. I want to make first team for my league. I want to go to state. I want to win state. I want to win league. I want to be a starter. I want to all this. I mean, all those things are great things. I want to break that record. You name it. You want to be a part of it. Those are all great goals to have. If I win this championship or I break this record, I'll finally feel fulfilled. But a lot of times when we finally get to that point, we realize we aren't. It never lasts because we were made for something greater, which greater was one of our words for FCA a couple years ago. In Isaiah chapter 43, verse 7, this is what God says about all this, God's purpose for glory. Bring to me all the people who are mine, who I made for my glory, whom I formed and made. Bring to me all the people who are mine, that's us, who I made for my glory. We were created to give God glory. It's pretty simple. We were created to create things that would give God glory. We were created for that one purpose. But see, God designed us to reflect His greatness, not to strive for personal fame, which is the very opposite right now of what we see culturally, especially on social media, or even at the higher level of sports, even lower levels now with the whole NIL, the empowerment of the athlete now getting to move around as much as they do to different schools, and the money they can receive and the brand they can build. It's an incredible opportunity for you to make something of your life in that fashion, but it's become almost an idol. And when we focus on ourselves, we miss the bigger picture. We were created not to glorify ourselves. I can't say it enough, but to reflect the glory of our Creator. So here's a question I want you to think about. You don't have to answer it, but just think about it in your own personal time. How does knowing that you are created in God's image, which is a big deal, change the way you see yourself? Just think about that. If I were to have a candid conversation with you one-on-one and I ask the question, how do you think about yourself? Like complete vulnerability. That's what I'm talking about right now. Like the stuff you don't want to talk about with your boys or your girlfriends. Like that real battle that's going on internally in your soul that we battle every single day. Our identities. Going back to my daughter, am I pretty enough? How does this truth impact the way you approach competition and life and academics and friendships and goals and dreams? So I said earlier, 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18 is the foundation of our word for the year, glory. And here's what it says. And our faces are not covered. We all show the Lord's glory, and we are being changed to be like Him. This change in us brings more and more glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit. Our faces are not covered. We show the Lord's glory. The reality is this, you're telling a story, whether you know it or not. People are watching you, whether you realize it or not. The freshmen are paying attention to the seniors, especially on sports teams. They're They're looking what it looks like to work hard in the weight room, at practices and games. How do you respond to adversity? How do you respond to losses? How do you respond to when things aren't going your way? How do you respond to when things are going your way? Do you get a big head? Do you make it all about you? So these things are all happening, and that's the foundation of our word for the year, glory. And our faces are not covered. We all show the Lord's glory, and we are being changed to be like Him. We are being changed to be like Him. As we focus on God, He transforms us to reflect His glory more and more. That's the hope. I like to say it this way. We step into growth each day to know God better and better. It's not about striving harder. It's about surrender. It's about surrendering to Him. I want to give you an illustration today that is, I already kind of hinted at it, but it's the mirror. So the power of a mirror, I'm going to go, is this chemistry? Is a mirror considered chemistry? Like the power of a mirror? Should we bring in Kayla for that? I don't know. But imagine standing in front of a mirror. The mirror doesn't create its own light, right? It's a pretty crazy thing. It simply reflects the light it receives. And in the same way, we aren't the source of glory. We were created to reflect the glory of God. So every time you look into that mirror, think about that. Let me break it down a little bit more. Who here, when they brush their teeth, just all this stuff goes on the mirror and dirties it up and your mom gets mad at you? Be honest. Thank you, guys. See, come on now. I know you guys all get all that stuff on the mirror. But if a mirror is smudged or dirty, it doesn't reflect light clearly. It's distorted. That's like when we allow sin or pride or distractions to cloud our lives. To reflect God's glory, we need to let Him clean our hearts through repentance and His Spirit, so we're able to reflect His glory. So my challenge for you is, what smudges might be keeping you from reflecting God's glory in your families, here at school, on your teams, wherever you find yourself? You see, the mirror has a face. The mirror has to face the light, as I said earlier, for it to even work. A mirror only reflects light when it's pointed toward the source. If we turn away from God, our source of light, we can't reflect Him. You see, staying close to God through prayer, reading the Bible, worship, being a part of a community is like facing the light. And when we do that, we're able to reflect God's glory. But we have to be facing the right thing. If I go back to your guys' theme for the year here at the school, it says look up, right? Keep your eyes on Jesus, Psalm 121. Same concept. But are you spending time with God? How is your relationship with God? I'm not naive here to think just because you go to Liberty Christian means you're all in with Jesus. How do I know that? Because you're human. How do I know that? Because there's a lot of you, maybe you guys all are on fire for Jesus. That's awesome. But I guarantee you not everyone that walks these halls are. So how are you doing at reflecting Jesus to your school? How are you doing in your walk with Jesus? And I don't ask this in a way where I'm looking down upon you. I have people in my life asking me the same questions, holding me accountable. Because you know this. If you're in a relationship with someone, a best friend, a girlfriend, or a boyfriend, or just your family, if you're not daily investing in them or spending time with them, what's going to happen? Are you going to come together, or are you going to drift apart? What's going to happen? Drift apart, right? So here's also what I want you to catch with the word glory and this mirror illustration. It's not about the mirror. And here's what I mean by that. Nobody looks at a mirror and says, wow, what an amazing mirror. Who's ever done that? Unless you're like anyone? Anyone even pay attention to the mirror? No. What do you pay attention to when you look in the mirror? The reflection, right? Which most of the time is you. See, we look at that mirror reflects. In the same way, our lives should point others to God, not to ourselves. Can't say it enough. It's not about the reflection in the mirror, it's the creator of the mirror. And reflecting that to this world. You see, the mirror's job is simply to shine. That's the whole purpose of a mirror. The brighter the light, the more the mirror reflects. And when we let God's presence fill our lives, we reflect His glory in a greater way to those around us. So how can you begin to let God's light shine through your life? And like I said before, your family, the hallways, your team, all of it. So at the very beginning of today's talk, I challenged you with this. What are you chasing? Are you chasing glory for yourself? Or are you chasing a glory that's going to point people back to God? Now, again, going back to those goals we talked about earlier that drive us, championships, better performance, all of that, those aren't bad things. When they become bad is when they begin to define who you are. That's when it becomes bad. When you let that shape your identity, even with grades, right? The pressure of living up to parents' expectations or teachers' expectations. Like there's not always, just because it's good, grades are good, right? They can become a distraction. Because you put so much pressure and identity in your grades, or what college you're going to go to, or what trade school you're going to go to, or what branch of the military you're going to go to, or whatever you have hopes and dreams to accomplish after high school. Or level of sports you're going to play at the next level in college, or hope to play at. But if I could give you a couple takeaways from today, and then we'll have a couple discussion questions for you, is remember who created you. You walk in these doors every single day. Liberty Christian. It is right in your face. It's on your shirts. It's on your uniforms. It's in the hallway. Like you go to a faith-based school that is all about founded upon Jesus, which is incredible. But don't forget who created you. Like when my daughter looks into that mirror, I tell her, one, she is beautiful, but two, like that's not who you really are. Who we are is where our souls are at. Like how is your soul doing right now? Every year you read about it. Every year I end up in a high school or a middle school where there was unfortunately someone took their own life. And that's because people are battling internal battles in their souls of who they are. What is my purpose? Why am I here? Am I pretty enough? Why am I not good enough? Why does nobody like me? Why did this person not my friend anymore? Why can't my grades be better? Why can't I be an athlete like fill in the blank? Why can't I have friends like all of it? All these normal things. Why can't I have more followers? Why don't I get more likes? Why don't I get more views? Why can't I be like, you just name all these things that go through our heads all the time. Here's the second thing I would say as a takeaway is you were created in His image, but the second point is this, you were created now to demonstrate His glory. To give Him glory and demonstrate His glory. To know God and to make Him known. From my glory to His glory. How are you doing with that? That's the ultimate purpose of why we're here. And lastly, my challenge for you is be transformed every single day. Saying yes to Jesus isn't like a one-time thing, whether you went to a camp as a 7-year-old or a 14-year-old or a service. Like those moments are important and those are moments you want to hold on to in discouraging times, but it's not just a one-time thing. You don't just watch film one time in football. You don't just go to the weight room one time. You don't just go shoot one free throw. You don't just go throw in a bullpen session, throw one pitch and say, I'm good. Maybe Mooney does, he's pretty dang good, but I don't know. You don't just do it one time. It's an everyday grind. I have a mentor always tell me what you're looking for is in the dirt, which means you got to work every day. And that does not mean we strive for God's attention or we strive for God's acceptance. The cross did that. It is done. But it's a relationship. And relationship takes everyday work. And if there's ever a time when you guys need help with resources or any of that, we'd love that. You have incredible leaders. You have incredible adult leaders. Like you have incredible staff here at the school that I've gotten to know when they've made me sub and it was like, what am I doing? But there's so many awesome opportunities for you to be transformed every day along with people. I want to end with this and I'm going to pray. Don't let your happiness depend on something you may lose. The words from C.S. Lewis. Remember who made you. Remember your purpose. And remember it's an everyday thing. And at the end of the day, always ask what am I chasing right now? Am I chasing my selfish desires? Am I chasing what the world would chase, or am I chasing after giving God the glory? And that's it. That's my end goal. I'm going to take these gifts and these talents and this creativeness that God has given me, and I'm going to use it to love my school. I'm going to use it to love my team. I'm going to use it to love my community. I'm going to use it to impact my family, even though my siblings drive me crazy. My parents just don't understand me. What are you chasing? All right, Jesus, we just thank you for this morning. God, I pray for these kids to be encouraged, first and foremost, that they are loved by you, that you see them for an incredible worth. And I pray, God, as they go into this new year, as they kick off 2025, that they will begin to ask themselves, what am I chasing? And I pray that they will begin to chase after you, the one who made them, like they never have before. And I pray they'll do so to help others know you, to make you known, your glory over their glory. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Okay, before I close, I want to say this. I want you just to take 2 minutes really fast, 2 minutes. And I want you to share one thing, a word, a saying, or what did you think about during this talk today? Where is your mind at right now? What's spinning in your heart? Ready, set, go. And be real, all right? Don't be fake. Be real. Go. I don't know who's going up next. Is that good?
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Hey, how you doing?
Good,
Sorry.
how are you?
Good.